In the heart of bustling Port Harcourt, where the scent of fried plantain mixes with the sharp smell of car exhaust, there stood an old yellow building called Victory Lodge. It was 4 stories high, with peeling paint, cracked walls, and narrow corridors that always echoed with people's footsteps. It wasn't fancy, but it was home to many students, workers, families, hustlers, and sometimes strangers who didn't stay long. But one tenant, she was different. The story begins on a quiet Monday afternoon. Rain had just stopped, and the ground still glistened with puddles. A small, dark-skinned girl with bright eyes and a blue nylon bag stood in front of Victory Lodge. She wore a plain green dress, her hair was packed into neat braids, and her name was Mira. Nobody saw her arrive. No car. No bike. She was just suddenly there. Room 9, on the 2nd floor, had been locked and empty for over a year. The last person who stayed there, a man named Chidozie, left in a hurry after screaming in the night and throwing all his things out of the window. People said the room was cursed. Some even said they saw shadows moving through the curtain when the place was supposed to be empty. But now, Mira had moved in. She didn't speak much. She just smiled. The landlord, Mr. Jude, couldn't remember renting the room to her. But he didn't argue, her name was already on his list, and the rent had been paid for 6 months in full. In cash. Strange, but he was a businessman. He shrugged and moved on. At first, the neighbors didn't notice her. Mira kept to herself. She greeted politely, washed her clothes quietly, and cooked late in the night. But after 2 weeks, people began to talk. It started with Ife, the girl from room 11, who had been failing her university courses. One morning, Ife came downstairs crying, not in sadness, but joy. I passed them all," she shouted. She hugged Mira that morning and whispered something nobody else heard. Then it was Mama Ngo, the widow in room 3 who had been coughing for years. One Sunday, she stopped coughing. Just like that. She even sang in church. "That girl in room 9 prayed for me," she said. Whispers grew. People said Mira was a blessing. A quiet angel. Some believed she was a spirit. Others called her the little miracle. But everyone liked Mira. Tunde, the loud man from room 10, always eyed her with suspicion. "Nothing good comes free," he said. "I don't trust anyone who smiles too much." One night, he decided to spy on her. He climbed up and peeped through her window. And what he saw made him fall backward and run. He told anyone who would listen. There was no girl inside. Only a room full of mirrors, and in every mirror, there was fire. Of course, people laughed at him. But the next day, Tunde packed his things and left Victory Lodge without saying goodbye. Now, let me tell you about Seyi, a boy of 19 who lived in room 4. He was tall, skinny, and always wore slippers, even to church. He had a kind heart but was very shy. He worked at a printing shop and saved every naira to take care of his younger brother. One day, while going up the stairs, he slipped and hit his head. He bled, cried out, and then everything went black. When he woke up, he was in room 9. Mira was sitting beside him, gently cleaning his wound. She didn't speak. She just hummed a tune that made his heart feel safe. Then she gave him something to drink, water that tasted like light and honey. He fell asleep again. When Seyi finally returned to his room, he found a brown envelope on his bed. Inside was enough money to pay his brother's school fees. He never told anyone what he saw in Mira's room. But from that day on, he made sure to sit by her side during evening prayers in the courtyard. 3 months after Mira arrived, a man dressed in all black came to Victory Lodge. His name was Mr. Ebuka, and he had eyes like cracked glass. He claimed he was Mira's uncle, but his smile didn't reach his eyes. He knocked on room 9. Mira opened. "Come with me," he said. No, she replied softly. You have broken the order, he hissed. You were not supposed to stay this long. I am not done, she said. Not yet. He tried to drag her. But thunder struck, not in the sky, but right there in the hallway. A loud crack shook the building. Light bulbs shattered. Mr. Ebuka screamed and disappeared into smoke. Everyone saw it. After that night, nobody questioned Mira again. 6 months came and passed. Mira helped more people, a girl trying to end her life, a man who hadn't spoken to his son in years, a woman afraid to leave her abusive husband. She helped them all without asking for anything. But one Sunday morning, her door was open, and she was gone. The room was completely empty. No bag. No clothes. No furniture. Only one thing remained, a small white note on the floor. It read, I was never here to stay. I was only passing through. But your kindness gave me more time. Help each other. That is the real miracle. Mira. Years later, people still talk about the girl from room 9. The building has changed owners. The walls have been painted. New people have come and gone. But room 9 is always kept empty, not out of fear, but respect. Some say Mira was an angel. Others believe she was a lost spirit who found her purpose. A few whisper that she was God testing people's hearts. But Seyi, now a grown man with 2 kids and his own printing shop, says this. She was real. She held my hand when I was dying. She reminded me that love is the only thing that can die. And maybe, just maybe, one day when the world needs her again, room 9 will open once more.